Good evening, Malaysia. Salam sejahtera, Malaysia. Welcome back to the Healthy Rojak show. It's been some time. I know it's good to have you all back on the show. It's good to see you. It's good to finally meet you. Let me know where you're hitting us from. Let me know where you're coming to us from. It'll be good to know. Um, so I'd like to also wish um, Happy Tamil New Year, Happy Baisakhi. For the Christians, Happy Holy Week, and Salam Ramadan to my Muslim brothers and sisters. So, how have y'all been? It'll be good to hear from you. How are y'all? Where you're coming to us from? It's good to know. It's good to know. So, we are here today. There's going to be something different with the Healthy Rojak from now on. What we're going to do is we're going to be more towards a more wholesome, holistic view. So we're going to start with the basics. We're going to do a one-on-ones on the human body. We're going to go through food and nutrition. We're going to talk about mental and emotional well-being. We're going to talk about fitness. And we're going to see how all these works together for us to be in a balanced life. I mean, a lot has happened to us the last couple of years. We're going to move forward. We are moving forward. We're coming out of this and we're coming out strong. And I believe we are strong. Most of us have uh, started doing new things, I believe. We've all got into a lot of new ventures. A lot of us have started small businesses. And health is a very important component of that, I would believe. So it'll be good to hear from you. Once again, let me know where you're coming to us from. It'll be good to get to say hello and connect again. It's been a long time, and we're looking forward to a new journey. So, what are we going to do today? What are we going to talk about today? Today, we're going to start with the human body. Yep, we're going to start about the human body. The human body is a miracle of design. It's one of a kind. It's the most complex and intricate system in the world. uh, I believe there's nothing like it. It has been designed to work in harmony with itself, and it does so with efficiency. I don't think there's anything more efficient than the human body at this point, and it's unmatched by any other system on it. So tonight we're going to look to unpack what we can achieve when we go back to the basics in understanding all the main things to know about our body, how every part of our body works together in synergy, from what we can see and what we can only imagine, and how it works in us. And we have been good to be able to have a doctor with us today. And our panel is Dr. Taran Kaur. She is energetic, resourceful medical doctor. She's been in practice for about 10 years. She graduated from the Malacca Manipal Medical University. Her interests are lifestyle disease, primary care prevention, food and nutrition, dermatology, STDs, and women's health. She is a firm believer in using evidence-based approaches and committed to raise awareness and educate and rehabilitate and wean off existing medications for better health outcomes. So, without further ado, let's have Dr. Taran on. Hello, Dr. Taran.
Hello,
How are
hi.
you?
Hi. I'm good.
Hi.
I'm good. Hi,
It's
everybody.
nice.
Thank you, Edwin,
Hello.
for having me on the show.
No, thank you. Thank you for being on the show. It's very nice of you. I'd like to thank you. Maybe you would like to take a few minutes to, I mean, tell us about you. Tell us about
Sure,
your
yeah.
what you do, what's your passion, what you're passionate about, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you, Dr. Taran.
Okay. So basically, Edwin summed up a little bit about me. Okay, so I'm currently practicing as a GP in a clinic based in Rawang. So what the GP does, normally we see minor ailment cases like cough, cold, diarrhea, gastric problem, those kind of problems. And then we see chronic diseases, which is actually my main interest, to treat all these
Uh,
chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, cholesterol, heart problem, and all that. Because I mainly believe that all this, you cannot cure all this just by using medication. You need to do more, and this more comes from your lifestyle behavior modification, which is your own effort. You have to put in more. So most patients, I would take some time to advocate, create awareness about all this. Because most of the patient that I realize that the moment they hear about medication, they're like, oh no doctor, I don't want to try medication, you
oh,
know.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to educate them. They say, okay, if it's not too bad, if it's the beginning, like pre-diabetes, overweight
Right,
cases, then you can, like, teach them how to actually eat the right thing, exercise the right way, you know.
right.
Yeah.
So there's a way of
And
doing everything, right?
yes, there's a way of
Yeah,
doing everything.
and it starts with you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the most important thing, my friends. Uh, it starts with you. You want to change, we got to start with the person in the mirror, and that's you. And life is beautiful, right? Life is meant to be a celebration. We should celebrate life, and the best way to do is to be give yourself the best. Give yourself the best.
Yep,
Right?
yep.
So, doctor, today we're going to talk about the human body, right? So, maybe you can share with us the physiology of the body. What is physiology, and how does it, what makes this human body something unique and, you know, intricate in how it functions synergistically?
Okay, sure. Okay, so
Yeah.
today we're going to talk about human body. Okay, why? First of all, we need to know about the physiology about the human body. Okay, because the more you learn about how your body works, then it will prepare you to make the right decision, what to do and what not to do, to enhance longevity and also to have a happy life. Okay. So, human body is complex. Like any other living organism, it is made up of cells. Okay, the basic building block of a human body is cell. We have trillion of cells in our body. Okay, how does these cells function? It absorbs nutrition, make use of the nutrition, and turn it into energy. Okay, so when we have many cells, it becomes a tissue. Many tissue becomes organs. Organs are like, like you have your lungs, you have your kidneys, your stomach, your brain. All these are organs. Okay, so when you combine some of the organ, it becomes system. So in our human body, we have about 10 main system. All of this system, it works together synergetically. None of the system can function on its own in isolation. That is not possible. All right.
That's good.
So the main systems are such as skeletals, which is consists of your bone, your ligament, your tendon, and all that. That gives a basic body structure.
Right,
All
right,
right. You have muscle, and then you have cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system is where your heart is, your blood runs, your blood vessels, arteries, veins, and all that. Okay, your heart pumps, that's where your body gets all the blood to all the organs as well. Okay, then you have nervous system. Nervous system is basically your brain and your parasympathetic and your sympathetic system. That's where your backbone, your nervous system, everything is there over there. All right. Then you have endocrinology. Endocrinology is basically, let's say you have thyroid gland, thyroid organ, it comes under endocrine. Diabetes, it comes under endocrine. So, sometimes when you go and see your specialist, you'll probably be seeing a specific sub-specialized physician in this kind of cases. Okay, then you have lymphatics. Lymphatics is where your lymph runs. Okay, that's your also to help with your immune system. Okay, then you
Right.
have your respiratory, your lung. Okay, and then you have your digestive. That's where your tummy, your stomach, your colon, everything works. After that, you have your urinary system, your kidney, your bladder. Okay, then you have your reproductive system. Sorry, reproductive system where your ovaries, uterus, testes, everything comes in play. And the last one is your immune system. So basically, all together is about 10 main system. Okay, so
Right.
all of this system, like I said before, it has to function together. No system can function by itself. If
So none are
there's a
exclusive by itself.
Yes, yeah. So let's say there's something wrong with your kidney, then it affects your heart, and it will affect
Wow.
your um, brain, something like that. Okay. So how does this system work? What unique about our body system is that it can work under what do you call this? It has a self-regulating process, okay, where what we call is homeostasis. So homeostasis is where it's a self-regulating process where the cells, they will try to function themselves and stabilize in a suitable environment. They will adapt to it.
Ah,
Okay, yeah. So basically it's trying to say that, okay, the body have to survive, you have to adapt to it.
okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it will change the function, whatever, and try to adapt.
So this is physiologically,
Yes, this is
right?
physiologically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of things going on at the same time, right?
Yes, a lot of processes. As our whole body, there's probably trillion of cells, so you can
Right.
imagine. And all of the cells are functioning, so the amount of things that actually going on when you're, even awake or when you're sleeping, everything is
Right.
still on. Yeah.
Right. So and you need you and all this happens at one time. I mean, we have tons of processes happening physiologically, right? I mean,
Yes,
I was
yes.
yeah,
It's all
and
happening at the same time.
right, and it has to be optimum depending on your environment as well,
Yes, exactly. So what
right?
does the cell, how does the cell functions? It organizes itself, it metabolizes the food, the energy, and it responds to, let's say, environment. What are you putting in, like your food and all that? That's called response. And movement. Some cells move. Movement means like your skin cells,
Right.
when it grows, it heals, so the cell movement is present, and the cells
Okay.
reproduce and it grows and it differentiates. Yeah, and it
What do you
also
mean by
don't
differentiate?
forget, differentiates meaning one cell grows into another cell.
Ah, okay.
Yes, yeah, one, yeah, yeah, that is called differentiation. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, they are
Okay.
growing. Yeah.
Growing.
Yeah.
So
Basically, they're
like
growing.
right, right. And our cells are constantly being made new and well, I mean, how does that happen? I mean,
Okay. So what
yeah.
happens if there's a normal cell, right? So what actually happened to the cell? Okay. The normal cell, eventually, when it grows, it divides, and its timeline is considered over. It will probably
Right.
die. Okay. And
Okay.
when it dies, it's taken up by your immune system, your phagocyte, everything is like eaten up and cleared. Okay. So
Okay.
what happens when this cell doesn't die?
Right.
So
That's a
this,
good question.
yeah. So if the cell doesn't die, it will become an abnormal cell. Okay, abnormal cell later. That means it can't function normally already. So we
Okay.
call it something like zombie cells. Okay, it
Right.
has no function, but it is there. And with
Okay.
certain, why does this happen? In normal circumstances, it shouldn't happen. But why
Right.
does this happen? Because there are few risk factors. okay, which will I'll explain later, that it creates this kind of environment like a pro-inflammatory state in the body
Right.
where the normal cells don't die and becomes abnormal cells.
I see. I see.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in but the body by itself is self regulating, and it's self it's functioning like it has a system, and physiologically there is, by right there shouldn't be anything wrong, right? I mean, it's
Yes,
perfect in
exactly.
that sense.
Yeah,
Right,
if you're
right.
perfect.
So
Mm-mm,
right, right.
mm-mm.
So how about the I mean, the systems within the physiology of the body, how do they interact with one another, or interrelate with one another?
Okay, example, I'll give an example like the lungs, okay,
Yeah.
your respiratory
Okay.
systems. So when you breathe
Right.
air, you're bringing in
Right.
oxygen. So it goes to the
Right.
lung, okay, and then from the lung, it pumps the blood to the heart. So you get the oxygenated blood. And all
Right.
living cells needs oxygen to function. So the
Okay.
heart pumps the oxygen to all the other organs and all the other cells. So they are interrelated. And then once, let's say,
Right.
the blood goes to the kidney, okay, kidney does its function. Okay, I'm supposed to, filter everything that's not needed in the body, and I'm supposed to
Right.
flush it out. So it comes out as a urine, and also like if it's colon, it's going to absorb your water and all the good nutritions and stuff, and the toxin is out from the
I
bowel.
see.
Yeah, so it's all
Okay.
interrelated. And when let's say you put in food, um, your body system have all these I mean, like your lining of your stomach, colon and stuff, they have signals towards your brain, so your brain will know what
Right.
to do, what to absorb and what not to.
I see.
Yeah.
So, doctor, maybe in your practice, right, have you come
Hmm.
across people asking funny questions about physiology, and I mean, they would have probably done some homework on you on Google, or something, and maybe
Mm.
something like that. Have you?
I can't think of it now.
Can't think of it now. All right. Okay. Okay. So, what else is unique in the human body? I mean, the us as human. Why are we unique? What keeps us unique in that
Okay,
sense?
the most important thing for me is the ability of the body to heal.
Ah, okay.
Yes, okay. Our body have
So we
this
are superheroes by
amazing. Yes, we
naturally.
are. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We heal under normal circumstances. We heal. Okay. So, example. Do you know that the skin cells regenerates every 28 days?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
28 days. That's a month.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So
we
like
have new
every
skin.
month. Yeah, new skin every month.
I see. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's a
Yeah.
fun fact.
Yeah. So every part of your body can heal, okay? Except there's only one part of the body that does not cannot repair themselves. Do you know what? Do you know which one?
You
Your
got
teeth.
me. I don't.
Your teeth. Your teeth.
Okay. The teeth.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it can't repair itself. So if anything
Right.
happen,
So
you
that's
probably
why
need
you
to
have to.
repair it, or like you need to, put a filling or something like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So teeth is the only organ that does not repair itself.
Right. and
Okay.
and this
So,
ability to heal, right,
mm,
it's
mm,
interesting to know that no matter what we have naturally, so babies, for example, so they probably are the ones would be the most optimum for healing themselves, kind of, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah.
newborn babies,
Kids are
kids.
very resilient. Even though
Right.
their immune system is not as developed as the adults, but they are quite really
Right.
resilient. Yes, yeah. Like I'll give you
Okay.
an example. Like, okay, how does the skin heal when you have a
Right.
cut? Okay, sometimes you don't
Okay.
even have to go to the clinic. What happens is when you have a cut, blood, there'll be some bleeding. Okay, When the bleeding stops, it becomes a scab. So the scab, it becomes dry and all that. After a few days, you can start seeing like a yellowish fluid coming out. So that's your
Mm.
lymphatic system already working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can probably see the area is red, tender, and swollen. So these are all
Right.
bodily process trying to heal itself. Okay, slowly
Okay.
after 2 3 weeks, then there'll be a scar, fibrosis, collagen is laid upon. Then it
Right.
become the scab will fall off and it will leave a scar. And even scar sometimes, it fades after a few years. You might not even see it there
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Correct. I mean,
Yeah.
most of us have fallen down as children, so
Yes.
I hope you all have fallen down as children, because that's part of growing up. And I'm sure we've also tried to peel it off ourselves many times, right?
Yes.
So that's what we are talking about. That our
Mm-mm.
body has the ability to self heal.
Exactly.
In a normal
Normal,
circumstance.
yeah,
Circumstance.
proper circumstances. Another example, like infection. Okay,
Right.
today you're exposed to infection, your immune system kicks in. And
Right.
when you talk about your immune system, you have specific immune system and the non-specific. Non-specific is basically your skin. Your skin is protecting already a big organ that's going to protect you from all the microorganism out there. Okay, so it's
Right.
like a barrier already. Then you have cilia, in your nose, and in your tummy you have your mucous membrane. All this is all non-specific immune system. And
Okay.
then your specific immune system is where your antibodies comes in, your B cells and T cells. It will respond to the infection or whatever foreign body that you have, ingested or anything like that. So the
Okay.
body is actually responding to the infection. Mm-mm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's another example. Yeah.
Right.
And all this happen, like what I said just now, under normal, natural circumstances. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you provide a good environment, a suitable environment to the body is going to heal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
Mm-mm.
um I mean, what have in your experience, what would be the most conducive environment? I mean, generally, you know.
Generally, actually, we all know what's the conducive environment, but no, we just probably always give reason that, we don't have time for this. No, I can't do that. I'm too busy. Yeah,
Right.
nobody has time for anything anymore. It's always like, oh no,
It's
I'm busy with work. But we all know that food, exercise, sleep, and the environment plays a very, very important role in
right.
our health.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned sleep. Sleep is something that I think a lot of us Asians don't do very well
Yeah,
these days.
I
Right.
know,
Right.
but sleep is the most important thing. That is where your body repair itself. It heals. Yes,
Right.
it does the most work when you're sleeping.
Right.
Yeah, that's very,
and
very
and
important.
and and how about, I mean, a lot of people say you must sleep 7 to 8 hours a day. Some say no, 5 hours is enough. So there's a lot of uh variable studies and um papers on the best time. But in your opinion, I mean, in your practice, for what you have seen, uh, what would your best
For
advice be?
optimum function, it should be 7 to 8 hours.
Okay,
Yeah, 7 hours
7 to 8 hours.
at
Yeah.
least. Yeah, not five.
Okay.
Five, no.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So we need to sleep 7 hours. And I think
yeah.
the bulk of us don't even hit
Why?
five,
Because you're all
maybe.
hooked to social media at night. We
Yeah.
spend at
We're
least
doing this
30
on
to
live, right?
now. It's okay. Now it's
The
dinner
world has
time.
changed. Right. Right. It's dinner time. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I mean that it heals itself, that the body synergistically functions as one system. I mean, basically, what you're saying is that everything functions as one system as a whole, and none can perform optimally without the other. And I think that's pretty interesting, because if you take that concept and put it to us helping one another, that's exactly how it works, right? I mean, within a
Yes,
community, you pick one another up. Like what happened the last couple of years, each of us picked someone up, and we supported one another, and the body works in the same way. So you know how we help one another. You need to help yourself first. You need to
yeah.
you need to look after yourself. And Dr. Tara, what about balance? We need balance in what we do, and many a times we notice that we can start something, but the balance tends to go imbalance after some time. But what would be little things that we can do to start building this balance, that our body is able to come back to the basics of how it's supposed to be?
Okay. Balance. How to maintain a good balance? Okay, what you need to do is don't go big. Start small. Small baby steps. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Do okay. Let's say example. I will take sleep for a matter of fact. Sleep. If you think you're not getting enough sleep, then you probably need to tell yourself that, look, okay, yesterday I only slept 5 6 hours. Today I'm going to make it a point. I'm going to go to bed early. Okay, I'm going to get at least 6 hours compared to
Right.
yesterday five. Okay, so you need to set goals which are realistic. Don't go and
Yeah.
set goals that, okay, yesterday you had 4 hours sleep after doing so much of work. Today also you're swamped with work, but then you want to target for 8 hours. I don't
Right.
think anybody, because if you start setting big goals, it becomes very difficult. Your journey becomes difficult. Then you start getting disappointed.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
even with
Yeah.
food. Let's say you're a diabetic, so the doctor tell you, okay, cut sugar, cut this, cut this. Okay, don't do this, do exercise. What you can probably do is, okay, maybe I can reduce taking carbonated drinks first for a few days, and then I'll stop taking sugar in my tea or in my coffee.
Right.
And then after another week, I can probably, okay, maybe I can change my white rice to brown rice, and then I
Wow.
can slowly cut down the portion of my meal. Yeah, so
Yeah.
go small, start slow. It's okay to start slow,
Right.
because even if
Right.
you start slow, you will start get seeing the difference. So when you see the difference and your body starts feeling better, you will immediately try to do more.
Yeah, because you build confidence in yourself as well, right? I mean,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and
and
when you feel good, you tend to tell other people about it. Hey, look, I'm eating brown rice now. Oh, I've cut a lot of sugar. You see, I feel so much better. You know, yeah, and people
yeah.
people will follow. If it
Right.
works for you and you tell someone, people will follow.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, people. I mean, you would be the testament of that fact, because people see you change, and you feel better, and you would
yes.
resonate that good feeling. Um, what else can you tell us about you know the body that is
Okay.
unique?
Okay. Okay, what I can say is you need to start taking care of your body, because it's very, very important. For an example, what have been happening for these past 2 years with COVID? We know if you're healthy, you don't have diabetes, you're not obese, you don't have heart problem, the risk of you getting a severe disease from COVID is very, very low. And those before vaccination came in, yeah,
Yeah.
before vaccination came in, before vaccination came in, there were a lot of people with stage 4 and 5, and the mortality rate were highest among diabetic patients, heart patients. Why?
Mm.
Because if your body is already not in an optimum state already. It's not the best environment for your body to fight infection, diabetic, heart problem. All this has already created a pro-inflammatory state in the body. It has weakened your
Right.
immune system, so the body is not normal anymore. So it's not fighting for you. So that's what happened with it's happening with a lot of patients
People,
and
patients.
people, yeah. And diabetic is so common now. It's as common as 1 in 5 adults is a diabetic. 1 in 5
Wow,
adult, yeah.
that's a
And
very big number.
yes, above the year age of 60 years old, there is 40% of people above 60 years old are diabetic. So basically, if you have like your family, your mom, your dad, one person is diabetic. So
Yeah, that's
imagine
true.
every family there's a
Yeah,
diabetic.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And half of them don't even know that they're diabetic because they don't go for screening.
correct. That
You
happens too.
only,
That
yeah,
happens too.
you only know when they're like, oh, they come in for an infection, or they probably already have like, a heart attack. Oh, you're a diabetic, you know. So the
Right,
awareness is also not there.
right. Of course, of
Hmm.
course.
Yes.
So this is a good platform to stay on if you want to be aware of what's happening in Malaysia, because it would relate to us. We are in Malaysia and we love food. So food is
Okay,
something we
food.
love and we need to control. Yeah, glorious food, right?
Yes.
And who wouldn't want to have nasi lemak now with the mama stalls open 24 hours? So uh, eat but in moderation. Dr. Tarun, we have a question here.
Okay.
uh, how do we work from Atlina? How do we
Okay.
work on the sleep pattern for someone who ends work shift say 1 a.m. and manages to sleep only around 3 a.m. but wakes up around 6:50 a.m. in the morning?
Okay. So basically, a lot of people with shift work, they will have this kind of sleeping issues. Okay. What you need to do is during the daytime, you need to
Right.
cut down your caffeine intake. Okay. Let's say your shifts end at 1 a.m. You need to be awake until 1 a.m. Okay. So by 5 p.m. you need to, there's no more caffeine. You can't take caffeine. Okay. And have your meal 3 hours earlier than your sleeping time. Let's say you finish your shift at 1 a.m., right? You plan to go back home, take a shower, knock out by 2 p.m., 2 a.m. So your meal have to be earlier. And try to have, not to have a very heavy carbohydrate rich meal, because that will further extend your sleeping time. And before sleeping, 1 hour before sleeping, no blue light exposure, no
Uh-huh.
TV, no phone. Try because sleep is really really important. Yeah. If
Yeah,
that still does not work, what you need to do is you need to increase your activity during the day. That means in the evening you need to go out, get the sunlight, exercise. Yes, that will
yeah.
help in the melatonin in the body so that you can sleep better.
So we gotta move. We gotta keep
Yes,
moving.
yes. I've
Yes,
I've
yes.
wrote
So the
about
human body.
yeah, I've wrote about how you can help with sleep on my social media on Instagram, so you can
Yeah,
probably go and read it up, and you can also buzz me. I
cool.
can help you with that.
So I hope you got your question answered, Adelina. Thank you for your question. So yeah, so Dr. Taran, uh, how else is the human body? I mean, is there something unique about the human body other than all that you've
Okay,
told us?
let's talk about epigenetics. I'm not so sure if you have heard about epigenetics. Okay.
No, I know what genetics are, but
Yes,
this
exactly.
is new.
Everybody know
Yeah.
what genetics is. Genetics is basically
Yes.
okay. My I have diabetic. Oh, it's because my dad had diabetic. those kind of things. Oh, yeah, my dad has colon cancer. Oh, that means I am prone to getting colon cancer. But what you don't know that is genetics, it only explains 10% of variance in your health. That means
Oh,
there is chances of you probably passing down, your parents passing down these bad genes or mutated genes, cancer gene or the diabetic genes whatsoever to you. There's probably 10% of chances.
right.
So
Only
what?
10.
Yeah, only 10. But what does the other percentage, like 70 to 90%? So what happened? This is where epigenetics comes and plays a role. So epigenetics is basically the study how your behavior, okay, what we do on a daily basis, even
Mm,
before, let's say, when before you were born, prenatally, when your mom was pregnant with you, it has all started back then, okay. And
wow.
the environment, it affects the way your gene works,
Mm,
okay. So basically, epigenetic, it changes the way your gene has been read, the DNA sequence. It's changing how it has been read. But you have to
okay.
remember, epigenetic does not cause DNA mutation. The DNA mutation is basically the genetic.
Okay. So that's the 10%.
Okay. Yeah, that is the 10%. So
Right.
what happens with this epigenetic, this epigenome and all that? So what happens is when you're exposed, okay, there are certain risk factors that will affect the epigenetics, okay? So
Okay.
what happens when these risk factors are there? So what happens is the DNA, it get there will be like a methyl group or a histone group, okay, medical terms. It will wrap
Yeah.
up the DNA and it will make it seem the body is reading the sequence in a different manner, not the normal way how it was supposed to be read.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So how there's a few processes that affects epigenetics, such as DNA methylation, you have histone modification, and then you have coding of RNA regulation, blah 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 blah. Okay,
Okay. RNA,
the
I've heard a
most
lot lately, but
vaccine,
yeah. So yeah. But this
yeah,
is really interesting because you're saying that the environment plays a major role in how your body is going to react.
yes. And
Right.
it is all scientific studies. It has proven. There's a lot of papers online. You can go and read about it. And the best thing about this is you can actually reverse it.
You mean the epigenetics? I mean
Yes,
the
you can
condition?
reverse
Oh,
it. Yes, yes, yeah. So basically, what I was telling, that how does this happen? How this DNA methylation, everything affects the way your body reads the DNA sequence when there is certain risk factors. Back to basics.
okay.
What are these risk factors? First of all, toxin exposure,
Okay.
pollutants,
What do you mean by that,
pesticides,
doctor?
pollutants,
You said
pesticides,
right.
radiation.
Okay.
Okay, all this is going to cause is basically the risk factor for epigenetics. Okay,
Right.
and then you have
Right.
your food and your diet. Ultra processed food, it's going to affect all this
Okay.
way how DNA sequence is being read. So you probably get prone to diseases. Okay, and then you have your microbiome, your gut microbiome, your good bacteria, your bad bacteria. All this is also one of the risk factor. Others, like I told you just now about nutrition during pregnancy. Okay,
Right.
if there is something
Right.
lacking, or stress and all that, it is going to affect how your body is going to get disease later on, definitely. Okay,
Right.
others, alcohol has a very very big role, and also smoking. A
Ah.
lot of um, what do you call this, evidence towards cancer.
Right. Right.
Okay, and then lack of exercise, medication, sleep.
Right.
Stress, social interaction.
Social interaction.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. If let's
that's
say,
interesting.
you're like 60 years old, you go out and eat alone, you're probably your kids are not around, your one of your spouse is also not around, you are
Okay.
prone to get heart problems compared to a person who's living with his family.
Ah.
So social interaction is really important. Not social interaction on social media. Face
So we
to
got to keep
face,
the blue
face
light
to
out then.
face, face to face social interaction. It's very, very important.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
So
we
that's
are social
mm,
beings then. We need to we need to be out there. We need to
we need to
have
be out there.
interaction. We need to talk to one another. We need to express how we feel. We need to uh, be in an environment that would help us make us feel good, right? I mean,
Yes.
not just feel good, but inside out kind of a good.
Yeah. You want
What
to because you don't want to be aging early than what you should. Okay.
right?
You see, you for example, you look at our parents,
Yeah,
they get diabetes, or you hear that someone has cancer when they used to be 50, 60 years old.
yeah,
Okay,
yes,
but now when you are an adult, you are in your 30s, 40s, you see your colleague, your cousin, your friend, somebody is diabetic, somebody has
yes.
cancer stage 4. So why is all this happening earlier?
Happening.
It's because of epigenetics.
Right,
Because what
right.
we are eating is not what our parents used to eat. The environment is totally different. Social
Yes,
interaction. Our
right.
parents used to go out. I mean, you want to pay bill, yes, you go to the TNB and pay bill, right? Yeah, and then you see your neighbor, you talk to the guy. Now everything's online. There is no social interaction. Basically, you're seeing somebody's, Facebook post, Insta post, and then you're getting shit. Why am I not doing this? Why is he like
True.
that? I mean, like, it's not true. So we need the social interaction. Once
Yes.
your body is you're feeling lonely, depressed people are prone to heart diseases, heart attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Malaysians, we should be living life as a celebration because life
Yes,
is meant to be a celebration. Life is meant to be a
exactly.
celebration, and it's it's good to know that we can also change the environment for the betterment of ourselves.
Yes,
We can come
definitely.
together and start small, start within your family. That would be the best place to start. If you are trying to do something to feel better, get a friend to partner with you in that journey. Get if you're married, speak to your spouse. Have that conversation. If you're in school, you know talk to your parents, talk to your friends, with adult supervision, of course, for those who are in school. Yeah, but let's get interactive. Let's speak to one another. Let's get be out there, and there is a reason that we need to be social, and because that will also help with our health. And I guess in Malaysia, stress is the other main big thing. Would that be right? Would I be right in saying that, Dr. Tarun?
Yes, yes, yes. I would like okay, this I think stress is a very big factor. I mean, everybody wants to be successful, and our Asian culture, our working hours are super, super long.
Right.
And I have seen, it's shocking that I have seen, when I used to work in a health screening center, a heart health screening center, it was
Yeah.
shocking to see 30 years old with triple vessel disease, like 90% blockage, and they were being advised to go for bypass. And you
30 years
usually,
old.
yes, 30 years old patients, okay, and you usually only supposed to see this in people who are 60, 70 years old. But it's,
Wow.
I had a few, probably like what, 3 4 patients. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was, it was shocking. And these people were basically workaholics. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
mostly were males as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So guys,
Mm.
come on, my brothers in Malaysia, we gotta start living life well. Balance is the
Balance.
key, and
Balance.
from what we've heard today, it's very obvious that our body has the ability to heal, but it can only do that if we are also playing our part. We need to play our part by understanding our body, and if you know the basics, that will help you guide you to make the right choices, whether it be food or your environment or your mind, your mental health. All these are very important for that balance in life. And just to maybe sum up, Dr. Taran, maybe you could give us a summary of our go-to points, maybe for the human body being unique as it is, and we have to play our part. How do we also understand our own body better?
Okay. So, since you know the body is complex and you have around so many systems, always remember that, you know, all the system works together. So you have to take care of all the systems, not only one. What you put in, what you are exposed to, what your behavior, okay, is very, very important in maintaining health. If you don't provide the optimum environment for your health, you don't put in the good, you are not going to benefit anything good out of it. You're probably going to age faster, end up with diabetic, heart issues, cancers, all these. I mean, it can happen to anybody, but there is a way
Yeah.
for moving forward that you can actually prevent it and treat it. There is something you can actually do. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the power is in our hands.
Yes, the power is in our hands. Maybe the
Yeah.
next round we will talk more about food and nutrition.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
That would be good. Uh,
Mm-mm.
and yeah. So we have come to the end of our show. We'd like to thank Dr. Taran for her time. Um, so, Dr. Taran, maybe what is the one thing that we can start today?
Okay, since there was a question about sleep, sleep better, 7 to 8 hours. Yeah, start with
So,
sleep.
start with sleep. Start with
Yes.
sleep so your body starts healing itself inside out.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So, in order for so if you have a car, you need to send the car for service, you need to check the air pressure, you need to check your oil, you need to check your water, all that good, but you also need to check yourself. So let's start with us. Let's have that good sleep. Let's have that belief, that faith. Let faith arise that things can get better. We can move forward and be hopeful, because hope is good. Hope
Hope is
is
good.
good, and yeah, and it never disappoints. Hope never disappoints. And do all things in love, because when you love, you are going to give it your best. And the only way you can love another is, you got to start with yourself. You got to start
Yeah,
loving yourself.
true.
And when you do that, you will resonate that good vibe, that life in you to the people and the community and the family, and everybody is going to change. Thank you very much, Dr. Taran, for this time. Jaren Raj here says, great insight sharing. Thank you. Thank you, Jaren. But I wish I had finished my medical studies. I didn't, but I'm still there giving hope for people in the health and wellness arena. Um, Thank you, Adelina, for catching us on this show. Uh, cool. Thank you, Dr. Taran. We are guest at the tail end of our show. So for those of you who would like to get in touch with Dr. Taran, her IG handle is on her name tag there. It's at Dr. Core Kera. So you can get in touch with her on her IG platform. Uh,
Yep.
Once again, Malaysia, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your support. Uh, the Healthy Roja is back, and we've got more interesting shows coming out. We're looking forward to share them with you and journey your health and wellness journey together. So once again, thank you and good
Thank
night,
you.
Malaysia, and thank you. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you.
Taran.
Thank you,
Yeah,
everyone. Good night. Bye bye.
good night and see y'all soon.
See y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye.